A Star is Born by Archie Early is an inspirational story about a prospective college basketball recruit named Archie Early Jr. The book follows Archie's journey throughout childhood and early adulthood as he adapts to many different circumstances in order to pursue his lifelong dream of becoming a professional basketball player. Archie's tale is one filled with success, failure, heartbreak, and redemption. I will be comprehensively analyzing the various themes and plot points to understand how this book informs the reader about the experiences young athletes undergo in their mission for greatness, and as well how the book applies to the sport and recreation industry as a whole. Our story begins generations before our main character Archie was even born. We are introduced first to Grant Early Sr., the grandfather of our beloved Archie Jr. Grant Early Sr. is a tough-minded individual from a small town in the deep South Mississippi. Grant Early Sr. was originally from New Orleans, where he spent most of his youth working jobs on the Gulf Coast. While his grandfather was a very tough-minded individual, he was not the brightest and would spend nearly all of his paycheck on booze and girls to support his lavish lifestyle of partying and drinking. Grant Early Sr. became the father of 5 children, 4 boys and 1 girl, all built as impressively as he was. These unique children, along with Robin Early, the mother and wife to Grant Early, make up the Early family and contribute to the individuality of Grant Early Sr. and the massive roles that he played in Archie Jr.'s life. The narrative continues and shifts focus to the eldest of Grant Early Sr.'s children and the father of Archie Jr., Archie Early Sr. Archie Sr. was a responsible child in his youth, and as the oldest of 5 children, he often took care of his younger siblings and assisted his mother in taking care of the house while his father was out working 2 shifts a day. His mother set a high importance on academic performance and wanted Archie Sr. to set a good example for his younger siblings. Determined to be the first of the Early family to attend university, he focused more on his academics and was rewarded greatly with a full-ride scholarship to Augustana College in Rock Island, Illinois. He found equally remarkable success in his collegiate studies and married his high school sweetheart, Cynthia. They became founders of the Black Panther organization at Augustana and fought righteously for African American rights. After completing college, the couple moved to Peoria, Illinois, and had their first child and named him Archie Early Jr. Archie Early Jr. weighed a hefty 10 pounds at birth and was inflicted with a horrible fever that kept him in the hospital for days. The illness he faced is believed by his father to have built the strong character and resilience he has demonstrated since birth. As Archie Jr. aged, he displayed a knack for befriending his older peers, which led him into various troubling situations. He began stealing at a very young age, and in one of his most childish pranks, defecated on the top of the line appliance at a local superstore. This was when his father decided to sign him up for a youth baseball league to deter his behavior. Archie Jr. was reluctant and obliged, but soon began to despise the sport. After a few months, Archie Jr. was allowed to quit by his father if he promised he would participate in a different sport. This was the first stepping stone towards Archie Jr.'s profound love of basketball. He discovered this passion when he was watching a television bit about Magic Johnson. He was in love with the way Magic dazzled the crowd with his smile, style, and tall stature that was very similar to his. Archie Jr. began practicing at the YMCA once a week with a youth team of beginners. He then discovered the advantage of his lanky build and quickly surpassed the skill level of his peers. During their first game, Archie Jr. was able to block his opponents and consistently shoot on an 8-foot-tall rim. Archie Jr. had finally found something he loved that didn't involve making trouble. High school did not provide an adequate experience for Archie. With the birth of his little brother, the family decided to move to a larger house in Moline, Illinois. Archie did not adapt to this new change. He was having trouble making new friends and was being bullied for being black. He hated going to school as he was one of the 3 African American students in his school. Nevertheless, Archie Jr. continued his deterministic pursuit of basketball and garnered the respect of some classmates due to his skill levels. He found serenity in the sport and continued to improve his abilities every day. His father began taking a bigger interest in the son's passion and moved him out of the Learner League to a much more advanced league, where he could prove himself among equally skilled players. He was now playing for the Moline Park Board League, a reputable league with a 10-foot-tall rim and a much more competitive nature. Summer had finally come, and Archie Sr. knew it was a critical point in the development of his son's abilities. He was aggressively encouraged by his father to attend a Nike summer camp for highly skilled basketball players. The biggest issue was that the camp is recommended only for the most skilled athletes and would be far more talented and aggressive than Archie Jr. His mother was abhorrently against this idea for the safety of his son, but his father was not taking no for an answer. The camp turned out to be very beneficial for Archie Jr. And when he returned for his senior year, word had gotten out about his talents, and he was being actively recruited by dozens of Division I colleges to play basketball at their school. After many campus visits, Archie Jr. decided to become a Hawkeye and play college basketball for the University of Iowa. A Star is Born contains many wonderful themes and messages embedded in the uplifting story of Archie Early Jr. The most important ideas that I learned from this book was the importance of having goals and dreams, the overwhelming impact that sports can have on a teenager, and the role that family life plays into the success of an individual. The goals and dreams possessed by Archie Jr. were vital to the behavioral change that he went through when he discovered his love for basketball. The book does a great job of exemplifying the importance for a child or teenager to have goals or dreams to motivate them throughout life. The passion for basketball that Archie Jr. allowed him to start taking his life more seriously. He began to create goals for himself that would improve himself as a player and relentlessly pursued these goals. The importance placed on the creation of these goals is not understated and can be applied in many different aspects of a person's life. Goals and dreams allow a person to create themselves in any different way, and pursue them at one point seems unthinkable. This book does a great job of expressing these ideas and plays a central role in the story of Archie Early Jr. A Star is Born also makes a clear indication that the belief that childhood and teen involvement in a sport is extremely beneficial to the character of a child. Before Archie discovered basketball, he lacked passion for anything, and was left with ample amounts of time to spend causing trouble. The introduction of basketball allowed him to channel this extra time into something he loved that would be truly beneficial. The time spent playing basketball forced Archie Jr. away from his troubling history and paved his path to success that he chose to follow. Archie Jr.'s family life is a major part of the book and has a more impactful meaning than it may seem. The attention to detail when describing his grandfather and father led to ideas about the impact of strong family ties. The book describes how Grant Early Sr. turned his own life around when he began to start having a family with the birth of Archie Sr. He started working multiple shifts and saved up more money than he ever had in his life. This revelation is important to the explanation of how a stable, healthy relationship with his parents made Archie Sr. into the inspiring and loving father he became for Archie Jr. A Star is Born is a wonderfully positive story following pursuit of progress made by Archie Early Jr. The narrative conveys the uplifting story by including inspiring messages involving goals and dreams, childhood involvement, and the importance of a healthy family relationship for a young child. The book provided many valuable lessons and themes for the reader to digest and apply on their own lives. Overall, I really enjoyed following the journey of Archie Early Jr. and learned many things that will improve the quality of my own life as well.